Hey dealers, it's 5 a.m. Uh, November 23rd. This week is Thanksgiving week, and of course, we're all busy getting ready to spend time enjoying the holidays. But one of the reasons that I wanted to videotape this morning at 5 a.m. is because for me personally, I'm fresher than I'm ready for the day. Of course, it's still dark outside. I've already had breakfast, and I sit down in front of the computer and I start looking at the run list for Manheim. Now, no matter where you are, of course, there's a Manheim near you. And if you're in the car business or want to be in the car business, then you're very familiar with Manheim. So, what I'm going to do here, I actually had planned a lesson in person at Manheim this afternoon, but I have some things that I need to get taken care of, and I'm going to give our lesson by video this morning. So, anyway, one of my things that I always like to do, and I do this either late tonight. I will redo it again late tonight, but right now, one of the first things that I like to do is go to the pre-sale inventory list. Now, if you're not logged into Manheim, of course, you do have to log in, but at any rate, it's one of the first things you should do, and then obviously you're going to go down here and you're going to pick your sale. And tomorrow's sale, of course, is in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. I always try to attend that sale if I'm in a position to buy or things up there. I do this part time. I'm retired from the car business, so um, it's just in my blood. I still enjoy doing it, as most of you want to get in and do it as well. But anyway, if you look at your list, you're going to see 628 vehicles there. That is in all lanes. Now, that's what's registered so far. By the end of the day, I'm sure that number will go over 700. But that's what will start at Manheim tomorrow at approximately 9 a.m. Central Standard Time. Now, wherever you are, all the times are listed on Manheim's facilities, on their websites, what time they start. And I'm going to show you a few that I like to, how I go around and pick my run list. So I click all vehicles here, and I go down, and the first thing I do is I look for make and models. Now, a lot of you ask me the question of which type of car that I look for. Well, that's a very good question, but what you really need to look at is what kind of car that piques you, because when you're selling anything, anything is just a transfer of enthusiasm. So the car that you're excited about are always the best cars that are going to move for you. You'll just hold out for a better profit. All you want to do is make sure that the car, do your due diligence on the car. It doesn't really matter what make, year, model, or anything like that on the car. Do your due diligence, and if it's a good car and the car appeals to you, that car is going to make you money. Now, the first thing I want to point out is a lot of people ask me about the imports. Honda, Toyota, and now upcoming Kia, and some of those cars like that. You might as well get used to it. You're going to make less money on those cars. And the reason that you're going to make less money is because you pay dearly for those cars. Common word is out there. I've got people that call me all the time when I've got a Honda for sale, and they won't look at anything else. They want a Honda. But quite honestly, I've already got so much money in the Honda that, it's hard to make a profit. But anyway, I'm going to tell you what sticks out to me. Now, the first thing that my philosophy is that $1,000 car will make you just as much as a $10,000 car. Because unfortunately, the more you invest doesn't mean the higher return in the car business. Because if you pay more for a car, quite honestly, the demand is higher on that car, and that car is plentiful. Now, the thing about a used car that you want to remember is when you've got a used car with the miles on it, and that car, it's the only one like it, is what I'm trying to say. There's no, when anybody's shopping you, if they're hung on your car and they want your car, you don't have to worry about being shopping or them shopping your price. You can pretty much get your price as long as you can justify it by having a good car. Now, the first thing, like I said, that I go here and do is I go and select the make and model of the vehicle because I want to sort that out. And so this is by make and model, and you're going to go down here, and you're going to I'm big on vans. Most of you know that have asked me at all what my favorite type of vehicle is, and I look at vans. A lot. Convertibles, I look at a lot, but I try to keep my investments under 1,500. That's just my magic mark, because if I can retail anything under $3,000, that's what I try to do. I've just established and I'm comfortable with the market around $3,000. So let's go down here and let's look at a couple of vans that first off, since I'm going to use them by example, of course you can pick out whatever yours are and it shows the mileage and things of that nature. But this 2003 Country van, uh, and we click it up here, and as you can see, that vehicle's an '03. It's got an MMR of $1,550. I think that's a little high. Traditionally, those vehicles don't go for that kind of money. That van probably, in my book, around $1,000 I would give for that van, and the reason for that strictly being is I have pretty good luck at selling those vans around 2,000. I've sold a lot of, just in the last few weeks, I've sold a couple of these 2003 vans in pretty good shape. It's only got 122,000 miles on it for an '03. That's considered low. So I don't think there's probably a little bit money left on it at $1,000 if I paid that, but that's probably all I would give for the vehicle because I want to make at least try to make $1,000 off of it. And by the time you put a couple of $100 on buyer's fees, if you pay 1,000, you're going to be at $1,200 on the van. So, I'll probably bid on that van. I'll do mine by proxy bid, and I'll probably give $1,000 for it and just go on. That would be it. So I'll add that to my workbook. So you go up here and you click and you'll add it to your workbook. That's something that you're going to say over later. Right now I'm showing you what I choose to pick on the vans or on the vehicles. Then I'll go back and show you how to work a workbook and how to post your bids there. I do a lot of bidding online by proxy. Just because it saves me trips and time and things of that nature. So we've added the 2003. We'll go down here in the vans. They're the first things I look at for me is the vans. I looked at this, accidentally clicked the Challenger button. But I go here and let's see, 2006 Dodge Caravan, that's what I wanted to look at. Okay, this kind of van I just enjoy this kind of van. As you can see here, it's got an MMR of $550. Okay, so this van is one that I would bid on. Now, and I use a theory behind this van. If you'll notice, it's got the crinkled up left front fender. Well, I happen to know that fender is $47 on eBay, and it takes about 30 minutes to an hour to replace that fender. And this becomes now, to me, approximately a $2,000 van. So, yeah, this is something that I'm really looking at, and I'll put a proxy bid on it because I don't know if I'll be able to be there or not. I don't know if the title is at the auction or not. So, I'm going to put in a bid on this van and try to get it bought because, This van literally is almost free for me, okay? Because I may have the auction fees on it, but this van weighs a little over 5,000 pounds. Now, the thing you have to remember here is metal is money. So this thing weighs like 5,000, 5,500 pounds. Um, Scrap weight now is $110 per thousand. So literally, this thing, if I had to drive it, if it would drive, if I had to drive it immediately to the scrap yard, I could get my investment back. I could get 500 bucks for it. So I'm probably, this is a $200 risk in essence to make a couple of $1,000. So that's something that I do. And this van will work anywhere. It works for, somebody needing a work van locally. It works at a public auction. It's just in the price range that works for me. So obviously, I'm going to put that one in my workbook. So you find it. This first for me is I'm going to be going down looking at vans. Now this doesn't matter one way or another. I'm not telling you that vans are great buys. They're just I'm comfortable with vans. You can go down here, and if you like, as a matter of fact, I'll pick it here. This Ford Escape. Okay, this vehicle just appeals to me. I like the color of it. I like the miles on it. It's an '03, I think. What is that? Uh, and it is 137,000 miles. Again, considered low miles for the year of the vehicle. So, this is something that the MMR is 2125. Now, for me, that would be the top of my price range. I probably look at the vehicle and I stick down to $1,500, $1,600, so I'll add that to my workbook because I can make that vehicle work at around the $3,000 price range, and that's what I'm looking for. Like I said, I find that most people these especially this time of year, that's well within the income tax refund range. And so then I'll go back and I'll continue on with my search. And another thing that I look at your the Ford Windstar vans, of course. Here's an '03 with 268,000 miles on it. Miles are high. There's no picture there, but it's got a $400 MMR. So, if the vehicle is running or something, I'll go ahead and bid 400 bucks for it because or 500 bucks really, because of the simple fact if it runs, goes to the scrap yard, it's an '03 model. So it's probably something. These cars I don't really even test drive a lot, especially when I'm not bidding online or when I'm bidding online. So that's where I go with them. And I go back and I look at, I don't buy Honda Odysseys, the vans and things of that nature. And again, because they're Hondas and Toyotas, I mean, these vehicles are just expensive. And so there's just not anything left on them. I go down here and I look at this 2000 Kia Optima. Okay, 124,000 miles. Now this is um, a one owner. I mean, not a one owner, but the car's 124,000 miles on a 2001. Again, it's considered low mileage. I always look at the seller here. This is offered by Beeman Motor Company, which is a popular dealer here in Nashville, or there in Nashville. And so I look at that, and pretty decent cars as a rule. I look at both sides of it. Car's got some damage on the front end of it. So, this is something that I'll probably put a small bid on because, like I said, the risks are so low on these cars. And so the way you make money in the car business is controlling your risk, and you buy low, and you don't necessarily sell extremely high because you got to The man that's got $1,500 out there to buy a car, or $2,000, that's all he's got, and so he's going to want just as much car as he gets uh, for his money. So it doesn't really matter whether you're buying vans, cars, trucks, and by the way, trucks are pretty high going through the sale uh, because there's everybody's looking for a good truck. So, uh, working at this right now, I'll look at anything in here, and it's pretty much if it's running through the lanes, I'm going to give $500 for it. That's pretty much my mode of business operation that I go with. I'm going to end this video now, and then we're going to start going to a video that allows you to work the workbook and post a proxy bid and do things of like that. So I should see you shortly, or I hope to see you shortly back while we go through the workbook. Remember to register with Manheim. It's one of the first things you want to do. They're a great auction company, my favorite. We'll go through some of the other auctions later, but Manheim, I do pretty well just working the one auction. But again, keep in mind, mine is supplemental income to me from a retirement, so that's enough for me. You might choose to go to this thing full time and hit a lot of different auctions and keep a lot of different clubs. Whatever works for you, I'll be there for you. Thanks.